Good morning, everybody. How we doing? How's it going? Let's get my gimbal out of standby mode. There we go. Move about. All right. Great. Good as always. Excellent. How does it look? How do I sound? So slightly excellent. So slightly different setup. No headphones, see? No headphones, which is great. And we'll see how this goes. Love the jumper, yeah. All Saints. So that's cool. Feeling, but yeah, it's been rough actually. So I had, what was it? I think it was before, it was around about New Yearish. I went for a run. I started my exercise regime. First run in, it was really cold, and I came back, and it was like I started rapidly getting really ill, and I just had some weird flu. It was awful because like I felt a bit depressed, and a few other people I know have had this, and the first bit of it was feeling a bit depressed. I was like, I don't normally feel like this, and then it just kicked in, and then it was flu. But I hadn't had my flu jab this year, or my COVID. Like normally for work, I'll have flu and COVID, but I didn't have either. But normally, I'll have the flu one, and I never really get it. You know, like it works really well. Demonstrate how to solo over chord changes. Well, I mean, to be fair, what I tend to do is just use my ears. So listening to the music is a kind of the primary thing, and then when you get stuck, then you can go into some sort of analytical mode and work out what notes and modes fit over what chords if you want to go that way. Right, 2 seconds. One should go out like that. Is the mic back? That should be back. Can you hear now? Yes. Okay now. Yeah. It's just me and Luke back. So that's just one of the things, because obviously I've got like a setup now where I'm not wearing my headphones, but I'm using like the hardware loopback that's in my audio interface, which is like really, really cool. But obviously this is the first time I've used it. I'm not like on a live anyway. I use it all the time on sort of Zoom and stuff, but this is the first time I've used it on the setup. So mic levels, things like that, music are probably going to be like all over the place. So yeah. So yeah, like with regards to changes, it's like studying the actual changes that you're playing through and what sort of modes, scales that'll actually fit with that. So things like knowing your scales, knowing your modes, and then understanding chord construction as well is going to really, really help. So for example, like if you have an E minor 9 chord like this, let's get the zoom right. So it's been a while, so we need to do, we'll tune things as we go. What button is it again? Ah, this one, isn't it? It's like if you have, I love the E minor 9 chord. Knowing what all the chord tones are great. So you know when you see something like that, obviously you've got a root, you've got a third. This is like a broken chord, so there's no fifth there. We've got a seventh. So that's an interesting note. We've got a ninth. I mean, sometimes I like to start on extensions if I'm kind of following chords. And now you're kind of playing around those chord tones. There you go. Yes, right, Stelly, I've already... So I've just been thinking about like the studio production streams coming up, and that's going to be one of the things we're going to be trying out. So the SSL auto plugin, I tried it out with Sonable, and I didn't spend a lot of time on the EQ. I quickly tried it and didn't like what it was doing, didn't agree with it. Having said that, there's an intensity knob where you can agree, disagree with what it actually does. But the auto bus compressor, my God, that sounded like amazing. So I just put on some cranky drum loop. I did an A/B with the compression setup that I had on here, and like the bus compression sounded amazing, and it was zero latency. So the suggestion it made was absolutely bang on, and seriously, the drums just like sounded. I used it on that, that vaporwave drum loop I always use. So it just smoothed it out, took harshness out, and just made it like wider. The snare had that classic like SSL kind of explosive sound to it, and the snare sound was like elongated in a really nice kind of subtle way, not heavily compressed or anything. So it was just like, I thought like, this is absolute magic, this is great. It was like top engineer settings, and I didn't feel guilty at all that like basically machine learning did it for me. I think it's machine learning rather than AI. But most of the time that I spend agreeing and disagreeing with AI, I might as well just do shit myself, seriously. And I've been thinking about that, but what it has done is made me kind of focus on more modern tools, really. So one thing I've gone back to using, which is in my set now, is let's have a look. We'll have a look. As we're on like stuff. So you have to then realign the camera. So you're just gonna have to put up with my head cut off like this, but we can see. So one thing that I've been really liking is Pro Q4. So I've got this on all the channels, but what you can do, if you look at this, everything's named down the side, and I can access every channel just on one screen and do my EQing. And I mean that's just an absolute time saver, It's good as it's a helper, but actually, like, that thing of like, sometimes when you have a helper, right, Stelly, it's like, it's better just to do stuff yourself, isn't it? than having the help, because then it's like it can be something else to manage, and that's what I find. I find like with AI, I have to do very specific things. So like the other day was interesting. I had to. I did a PhD proposal, right? And I just wrote it, okay, and I got it, and I got AI just to check the grammar out. But you've got to check everything, But what it was really good when I finished this like PhD proposal, right? It's this like doctoral fellowship thing I'm quite interested in doing, right? That what I had to do was then I put it into stress testing in ChatGPT, and it was really good, and it gave me loads of corrections. So that was really good. And most of it, in fact, I think all of it really worked out, and even the references that it put in were all actual real things, but you got to check things, that's the thing. Music stuff, honestly, music theory stuff, I catch it out all of the time. It's really annoying. Tell you what, mate, going on voice mode on chat and then programming my Morningstar pedal was like funny. So I'd had it on my phone, and I think all the chat was just keeping me company. But it would go, right, I'd say, right, let's kind of work this problem out, and then it would make a suggestion, then it totally wouldn't work, and it was completely the wrong thing. And then I'd try it, and I'd go, that didn't work, and then it would make another suggestion. We just went down this chaotic loop of it suggesting things, me not using my brain and doing what it was saying, and then eventually I just went, look, don't do anything, I'll do it. And then just worked it out myself. But yeah. So it's very specific tasks, without a doubt. Alright, so please like and subscribe. I need to go back and just check everybody's here. Who we've got? Right, Stelly, I know you're here. Jenna's here. Hi, Jenna. Great to have you here again. Enzo's here. Marvellous. Lots of chatting going on, which is great. Chinmoy. Gilberto, how's it going? How's it in Mexico? Sean's here, of course. We've got a bit of a trip coming up, Sean, haven't we? Are you excited? No, I know you're excited. I'm not getting excited because I have to keep myself grounded. Greetings from San Diego. Pleasure. How we're doing, Strat Player 96. So yes, NAMM show this year. I'm going to that now. That's going to be exciting, isn't it? I haven't looked to see what's going to be new, but it's going to be great seeing all the new tech, especially for guitar. Because I've only just started really getting into guitar tech stuff. Glad you're feeling better too. I was going to have to load up on garlic. Does that help? I should play something, shouldn't I? It's going to be hot, as in the, it's going to be hot as in the weather. What temperature will it be? Oh, this is a question, right? So, do I take my green padded warm jacket, or do I take, my leather All Saints jacket? I want to wear my All Saints jacket. I'm thinking All Saints jacket and a couple of these jumpers and a hooded top that I have to wear. That should get me through. Plus the leather jacket. Or do I take my green padded jacket, which is a bit warmer? What do you reckon? Anyway, I should have put that as a poll. Right, play anything. So tell me what this sounds like. Yeah, there's a bit of kind of jazz in my playing now. That was like a jazz blur, wasn't it? Alright, 70 degrees at now. What's that in centigrade? Okay, so superimposing pentatonics. So we're in the natural minor, so there's two that I'll use. First one's obviously D minor. But the other one, and there's two ways to look at it, is just using B minor. So if we look at the extensions, the minor pentatonic gives us basically root, third, fourth, also the 11th. It gives us the fifth and the seventh. The A minor pentatonic, I should say, gives us the D's the root. It gives us a second. It gives us the 11th, the fifth, and the seventh as well. So we're really getting the benefit in getting that ninth. Now, when I tend to think of it, I just think of it like, in that case, I tend to think of it most of the time as just adding a ninth to the D minor pentatonic. But what is more beneficial when we're talking about superimposition is actually thinking of the target notes as arpeggios, and probably people are really bored of me probably talking about this, but adding an arpeggio and putting scale notes around it. sounds great. So that's all around a D minor 7. Going into a F major, pentatonic, A minor. Put one more scale notes in. Wow, 8 minutes of that. So some great questions at Chinmoy. Now, what if we use G minor Dorian pentatonics? Is that something over this backing track which is in D minor, or is this like a separate, what if we're in G Dorian with pentatonics? You mix the two things together because, well, I mean, as we're in D minor, let's have a look at maybe one of the arpeggios that fits best, okay, with this scenario. So, like one of my go-tos, right? If we're in D, is basically you've got your D minor pentatonic, and then the arpeggio that fits around that really nicely would be the F major 7, but you can also make it a major 9. And what that gives us is we're starting on the minor third with this arpeggio because we're superimposing it over D minor. So what that gives us is minor third, 5th, we get the 7th, we get whatever that is, the 6th, which is the 13, get the 11 again. So we get a lot of extensions with that. And this is like a great way to kind of fit that in over the top of the pentatonic because they live with each other very nicely and you can kind of phrase between the two things. So that's all pentatonic there, right? Watch this. So it works beautifully. Yeah, this part. Right, so you're confusing G minor, Dorian, pentatonics, right? So there's a bit of kind of confusion. There's no Dorian in this track whatsoever. It's basically D natural minor. The difference between I'll get another thing that's like D minor. Let's try this. Let's see if this is. Right, so this isn't Dorian. At least this section isn't. So, if this was the Dorian mode in D minor, we'd be using I'd be thinking A natural minor. And that would be the one note that would make it Dorian. Okay, but it's not that. So it's a natural minor. So that Dorian note, that major sixth, is flattened. The problem with the flattened sixth, right, is it always wants to resolve. There's too much tension in it. So you can quickly use it as a passing note. And if you put it in with like other stuff where it's an expectation, or using it as like a tension and release thing, then it'll work. So, there we go. I hope that clears it up. These are great questions, Chinmoy, and an area I'm really interested in. Hi Ash. So do subscribe, we've only got 13 likes. I don't suppose there's that many people here this morning. And subscribe. Early and I'm concentrating. So I look miserable. Hi Nick. I need some coffee. Like, this is fun, this shredding. It's nice to be back. My playing's not too shabby. I have been kind of stressing about it quite a bit. Not that I get stressed, but I do get bothered. And that is that picking bias thing really kind of gets on my nerves. But everything seems to be hanging together quite well. And I've become really over reliant on hybrid picking because I love it, but you do need the picking as well. Because there's a lot of articulation you can get with the pick. So picking and not picking. We can't all be Brett Garsted. Well, we can. I've got the book. I intend to be Brett Garsted. No, I mean, there are certain limitations. Like, I'm not interested. So my limitations are when I lose interest. So I lose interest in using my fourth finger for hybrid. Because I don't see the need. I can just go into sweep mode for that. I don't see any beneficial with that. And what I do is, what I do to compensate for that is the Tom Quayle method. So if we look here, what I'll do is I'll just double pick and then a hybrid. So if I have an arpeggio, and that gives me the extra finger. No, it would take, it's like, to get that little finger going, it would take years of, it would take ages, and then I wouldn't be using it all the time. But when you're using multiple techniques, you can get into a lot of things where you get quite confused as to what technique you're meant to be using and when. So when you're improvising, you're thinking of the notes, but you're also thinking of the texture, which I think is a great way. It's a new way of thinking for me, or at least thinking into the texture of what I'm playing and the dynamics of what I'm playing on a slightly deeper level. Who's got the time? The time is in the UK. It's 7 minutes past 7. Hi, Nick. Oh, who's got the time of training the finger? Well, this is the thing. This is why I like to concentrate on things that I'm really into. You know. So I'm into the idea of texture when I'm playing and dynamics in this hand. Oops. So, for example. Exaggerated and has a different feel to dynamically flat legato. Contrasting it. So yeah, I'm sorry for my English. What technique you like ever? So I'm assuming you use whatever technique you like. Yes, but it's using the techniques and deploying those techniques in conjunction. And the strategy for that we're interested in. I mean, the strategy is to improvise, and for us not to have to think about these techniques, but to feel it and to consider that as much of the process of the improvisation, I think. That's what I'm trying to say. Like there, I'm picking, but I'm burying that pick in the sound of the legato, at least I'm trying to. Good practice for your picking technique as well, controlling the dynamics as light as that. So I've been really watching Alan Holdsworth's right hand quite closely, and he picks more than you think. There's a lot of what period I've forgotten. If you watched him do that, I can't do it. You like picking two notes and pulling off the next. Sweep picking, alternate picking is very good. What do you do for string skipping though? Crossing. Like if if you're doing something like this. See, something like that, I wouldn't want to pick that. It's like just a miserable experience. Whereas hybrid, don't have to think about the technique too much. But the other advantage is you haven't got as much of this going on. Like using all the techniques. That's what it is, isn't it? Is the sound levels okay? Cool. Thanks, Nick. What do you reckon of that? Turn my alarm off one-handed. Something like that. I think we're in D minor there. I'm just gonna check. You know what? I put this heater on. Right, that's my hand gesture to stop the camera following me about the room. I'm sure. Oh, you know what? I'm sitting there freezing to death, not getting any warmer, and the heating's not on. It is now though. Boom. Right. No, I'm not wearing shoes. I've got some slippers. But if I wear the slippers, it's not very good on the pedal board, is it? No need for the slipper. I've got some nice slippers though, the fur lined. They're not very rock and roll. Well, you know. So today's stream was a free guitar lesson, which I think I've been fulfilling. There's been quite a bit of jamming. But let's have some more free guitar. Oh, and remember, those of you who are members, there is, and I'm planning to go that way. There's a free members coaching session, so I'll be sitting at my desk like a professional with the camera pointing the other way in the secret garden room, and it's a coaching session, so anything that you need help on, I will unconditionally help and support, absolutely free of charge. So any questions, any struggles that you're having, I'll be in coaching mode tonight, and that's going to be at 8 p.m. UK time. I highly recommend getting there. Having your questions sorted, becoming a member, because the value, well, there is no value to it because it's absolutely free. It's completely free. You just got to be a member. So for the price of a membership, I'm doing one free kind of coaching session. Anybody who wants to go any further than the coaching, there's one coaching group you can join. So places are limited, but then there's obviously the one-to-one. So basically coaching, right? So I'm trained as a music coach. So I was trained by a guy called Mike Monday, and he coaches like loads of like A-lister DJs. Okay. Actually, one of his clients is Jax Jones, and he has another client, Will Clark, and who's the other? Baron von Stroke, not Baron von Stroke, Claude von Stroke, who runs Dirty Bird label and is also a prolific producer. So he's coached all these guys, and then I went to him to be coached, and basically he completely turned my career around. It was unbelievable. Within 6 months, I had my own style of music. I was releasing tons of tracks. I charted 7 times, got a really good publishing deal. Like, loads of stuff happened because of the coaching work that happened. And I actually ended up coaching for him in the end for a number of years, since 2017 till sort of the last year, and doing my own thing in between all of that. So it's a good thing. But there's also, if you're a bit wary about coaching, because like what coaching is about, it's not about me giving you more information, right? Because that's consultancy, or it's education, isn't it? Like, you want this skill and I'll give you this skill. What the coaching thing's more about, it's me helping you overcome problems that you're experiencing, and helping you to helping you facilitate the skills that you already have, and getting you to use them to the maximum effect. Because I think, actually, I know that we're very skilled focused in this day and age, and that's thanks YouTube to that, because we can sit and watch YouTube tutorials all day and always feel that like we don't know enough, and we have to know certain things before we go off and do something, and that's just not true. You just have to go off and do the thing that you want to do, and it doesn't matter what it is. Just, with music, watched a great interview with Victor Wooten, and that confirms everything that that I've ever been shown and experienced in coaching. that really you need to play first. You have to create the experience to then work out what you need to do to overcome any problems or issues that are happening, You have to test all the time. So thinking about when you're playing live, like this for me, yeah, it's a live show, but it's also a test, isn't it? It's me testing myself out. I'm testing myself out how articulate I am when I'm talking into the camera, presence. I'm testing how am I delivering certain content. I'm practicing teaching whilst playing, improvising all at the same time. So there's all these skills that I'm practicing, because it is a practice. And I think in terms of like practice techniques that I've used in situations, like YouTube has been the one that's really improved me most. I mean, even if I had a tiny little audience, it would still always be worthwhile to do. And this is another thing that I do now as well, is just help and coach people on starting their own lives, getting off the ground and just setting your channel up and starting to get the confidence to go live, because it is like this kind of stuff is like really life-changing. I don't mean like as in, you will make some money out of it, but it's life-changing in terms of how good you'll get at something. So, Kurt, you've made a tremendous difference in my playing just by your coach and advice, Tim, yeah. Absolutely. You've never tested your metal till you bomb a solo live. Absolutely. And it's all about the recovery, isn't it? Because there's absolutely no way perfection doesn't exist. So it's very difficult to get your top performance ever. And you are going to make mistakes. But what it's about, it's like the recovery, isn't it? And this is why I love that book, The Inner Game of Music, because it talks about, self 1 and self 2. Or if you look at War of Art, the author in that talks about Stephen Pressfield. It's in his book as well. It's he talks about ego and self, And let's go with ego and self for today, because I'm always going self 1 and self 2. But the self is where you want to be. The self has no timeline to it. You're not looking in the past, predicting horrendous outcomes in the future. When you're improvising and you're making music, you have to be fully embodied in the experience, and that means being present in time, So as much as we can get to zero latency, I don't suppose our brains can be completely zero latency, because we need time to process things, don't we? But the camera's gone on standby. Come on. Come back to me. I never know how to get out of standby. Anyway, so because we're in that like zero latency, that's where we want to be, and we're completely embodied, engaged, listening to the music, responding to the music, and we're in flow. We decisions are effortless. But when we have self, the ego, we can be brought out of self. We can make an accident, we can make a mistake, and then suddenly the alarm bells ring, and then the ego kicks in and starts offering us advice on how to come out of these things. Now, when you start getting those voices of, you should do this, you should try this, you should play this lick now, you're working in latency. You're thinking and responding to the commands in your head, and at that point you're not listening to the music, and that's where the problem is. Yeah, well done, Kurt. It's great. But that's what it's all about. It's about, this channel's as much of helping other people as well as helping myself. It's just like one massive help group, isn't it? But it's been a journey, Do I stick to... Yeah, I like keys that are... Like, I can play in whatever key fairly. But I like keys that have got open notes because it's the natural resonance of the guitar. But I can adapt, you know. So D minor, B minor, F sharp minor, G minor. Probably missed a few. G minor I quite like. C sharp minor's good. So I tend to stick there. But there are other keys. Okay, Kurt, tell me more. I've had trouble putting certain arpeggios and scales together. Alright then, give me an example. More details, please. Therapy group for the obsessed musician. Excellent. So while you're just putting a bit more of a detailed question together, Kurt, don't worry about jargon and stuff. I'll just work it out. Just try and explain the problem as best as you can. Okay, I get lost on sometimes. Give me some examples if you can. Putting together certain arpeggios and certain scales. Right, we'll do this again, right? Because we're in. Okay, so we're thinking of one scale. Okay, we're thinking. All right, E minor's the place to do this, right? So if we look at the Greg Howe method, right? Because we're mapping scales to arpeggios. The first thing you want to do, all right, is learn your scales. And this isn't the only way to do them. Oops. Having a brain fart. So the way we're working with this, we're in E minor. I'm starting from C here on the 5th string. We've got 3 notes. We've got 3 notes. Every time you hit the third string, it's 2 notes. And then we have to move back a fret and do 3 notes. Now, we're kind of avoiding this shift, when you're doing 3 notes per string and you have to go up this way. And the reason for that is because this scale now maps with the major 7 arpeggio or even the major 9. You see that? So, in other words, if we want to disguise the arpeggio, we can do, and that's how you're fitting. But it's just practice. You just got to improvise with those limitations in mind, and you're just working up the scale and the position. So D position, we've got the dominant 7th. Arpeggio, haven't we? And then we've got the scale. Now a top tip is to try and start doing scale notes on a position on an arpeggio string that has only 1 note. Okay, we'll do the next position up and I'll demonstrate. So that's our minor scale, because we're in E here. We've got an E minor 7 arpeggio. So the two scales, the scale and the arpeggio, map together. So if we take the areas where there's 1 note and we try and do something there, we can come up with some really interesting arpeggios. Now, what's good about that is you can hear the target notes popping out. You can hear the melodic side of the arpeggio filled in with these scale notes. And you can always go back to your pentatonic scale. So it's just another melodic view of the world, isn't it, when you're improvising? And I'm really interested in this, and I'm glad there's a kind of method. Because if you start adding chromatic notes to it, it becomes very powerful. And you can just improvise about the fretboard, mixing scales and arpeggios. So you need to first thing, scales up the fretboard diatonically in that format. Hi Sago, how are you doing? And then your arpeggios in all the positions. Yeah. Can I help me? I'm trying to help me all the time, but do you want help? Have you got a guitar music question? All right, Kurt. Thank you. I'm glad. Sometimes I worry about how clear I am with stuff because I can mumble on and get lost a bit. There we go. Sago Das. Oh, you want to learn guitar? Well, you must get it if you're a beginner. Get a guitar teacher. Just not me. I'm fully booked. But get one that you can go to physically. Get a guitar, and get a guitar that's like okay to play. That's got a nice feel to it. You don't have to spend loads of money, but you don't want something where it's like massive strings and like really high action. It's just horrible to play. I've never tried a guitar bow. There are no guitar teachers around. Right, then the next best thing is going online and finding a teacher. But really, you need something in person that's dynamic. Because they need to be like teaching you something you need to be doing, and then they need to be helping you course correct when you're not doing something correctly on a micromanaging level. What scales would you recommend focusing on for intermediate players? Just watched a video about EBOS. Right, simple question to that is the scale to learn is just to learn your C major scale all over the fretboard and then learn it in different keys. The scale is a scale. Modes are not scales, they're a subset of a scale. So if you know the scale fingering wise, muscle memory wise, then you know technically once shown, you physically know how to play all of the modes. What you don't know is what the sounds of the modes are. The rest of it's like ear training. So by learning one scale, C major, then you know all of those modes. The natural minor scale is a mode. It's the Aeolian mode. That's contained within the major scale. And then, once you do that, you might want to do the melodic minor, which sometimes I dip into. Never really had much use for it, but then I'm a bit of a heathen there, bit of a cave person, and I should do more melodic minor, but I haven't found any sort of interest in putting it in anything yet. Having said that, at some point I'll grow up and want to use it. But the melodic minor, although I do know it, again, the melodic minor is a scale, and within that scale, as subsets, it has the melodic minor modes. Even, yeah. It's actually disgraceful that I don't really use the melodic minor, isn't it? It's terrible. There's no point. What am I going to do with it? Oh yeah, Enzo, I bet you're playing it all the time in the melodic minor. Oh, there's Des. Des, do you play the melodic minor? I was just saying, what a heathen I am. Not playing the melodic minor. I'm talking about modes here, but I'm not, I do, honestly, Des, I do know the melodic minor. Right. Des is the same as me. Never found a use for it. Me neither, apart from random jamming and faffing on. Like you've got things like in the melodic minor. Okay, let's look at a positive here. Well, we've got 2 flat 5/7 chords. Oh, we've got 2 dominant 7 chords. Pattern method, you know what it is? I think if I was a film composer, I'd be using it all the time. Because I'd need that extra palette of emotion, wouldn't I? That's it. I'm not a film composer, so I'm not going to use a melodic minor. I'm just a primitive shredder with some chromatic ideas. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's my business. Primitive shredder school. Yeah, something like that. What do you reckon, Des? You guys are too smart for me. I always mailed it when it came to music theory. As an adult, starting to realise that was the wrong decision. I did classical right. So when I was a kid, I started on classical guitar. Wasn't allowed an electric guitar till I got I think it was grade 5. Oh no, grade 3. When I got grade 3, I got an electric guitar. I sharp got there though. So Enzo, yeah, there's Enzo. Des is here as well. So Des is a very good guitar teacher. So Des, maybe Des might be interested, Sago, in teaching you. Sago's a beginner and is looking for a teacher. Okay, so there you go. Message Enzo. Also, Des has some space as well. For me, I'm fully booked, apart from my coaching group, which has 1-2 spaces left on it, and that's on a Monday. But if I do any more sessions, I'm going to be it's not going to be good. I mean, I've come back from Christmas, and I'm, it's how many did I do yesterday? 4. I'll work backwards. So evening I did 4, afternoon I did 3, morning I did 3. That's ridiculous, isn't it? That's like 10 hours, nearly. Respect the yeah, I mean, it's good to be employed as a musician though, isn't it? Yeah. So like my latest obsession is, right, this, I shouldn't say too much too early, but I kind of like get excited about it. I've started sticking together, there's a chance I can do, because I qualify for it, a doctoral fellowship to become a doctor. You imagine? For music, of course. So I've just put together the proposal for the funding board. So I've got a couple of tweaks to do, and I'm about to put that forward. But it'd be cool actually being Dr. Hutch, wouldn't it? Who's the guitar? Oh God, Doctor Shred. Yeah. Who's the guitar? Who's the guitarist you look up to? It's got to be Alan Holdsworth, isn't it? I can't he's got. Oh, I'll tell you who else. So there's a couple of players in my head who are like a godlike, and it's Alan Holdsworth, but Wayne Krantz. I think Wayne Krantz is absolutely amazing. I love his attitude to music. And I feel compared to him tiny, so that's good. I think that's the thing, the godlike thing, these guys are massive. Yeah, I should have a separate channel. I mean, it's very dry what I'm doing. I mean, it's basically what this PhD is about trauma-informed care, and basically how music can be involved in all of that. How we can enhance patient experience through music, adhering to trauma-informed care. So, yeah, music and trauma. That's what I'm doing. But if I get it, I'll probably set up a separate YouTube channel talking about trauma-informed care and therapeutic music. Cool. Any more questions? I should play something, shouldn't I, really? Funk, that'll have to do. Yeah, your hair looks great. You're killing it. Thank you. It needs washing though. Great having you here, Des. Been a pleasure. We'll have to have a catch up at some point again. Boom, bit of whammy bar action, because we're getting near to the end, so I don't mind putting myself out of tune. And it's time for coffee. Coffee cam. Nice and relaxing, coffee getting poured. New thermos flask, what do you reckon? It's got good action in it. Needs a sound effect though. Yeah, great, like, thank you, All Saints. I bought it with the holes in. If my gran was alive today, and she knew that I'd bought, that you could buy jumpers with holes in, she'd wonder what's happened to society. Oh, I drink loads of coffee. How many have I had here? This will be it for till probably lunchtime now. I've had 4. Ooh. And 1 hydration tablet. Kiesel trems are where it's all at. If you lubricate the friction points on your guitar, it keeps the guitar from going out of tune when using the... Yes. Right, so what lubricant do I use? Enzo, send me an email with a like the name of the lubricant and how I actually apply the lubricant to the trem. I hope I just drop a few drops in it. It's a tea pipette and you just kind of put a drop on there. I don't know, that's the point there, isn't it? That bit. So I just put a bit of lubricant on there. Oh, camera's overheating. Luckily, we've only got 5 minutes to go. Hold on, stay tuned. Any moment. Wait, there's the side of my hair. Alright guys, so I think I'm just going to turn the heater off. I don't know, like, do I fan the camera? Like, do you think this would work? Now, doing this will probably get me more views, so like and subscribe. Oh my god. Come on. Come back to me. Right there. Alright, any questions, even though the camera's not on now? What are your five favourite albums? Oh god, what a question. I don't have any. There's no, like any of the Alan Holdsworth ones I'll just put on. Alan Holdsworth stuff's the only one that I'll sit and kind of listen to as an album. I've been listening to dance music again. I heard some amazing tunes the other day. I put Envoy on, who I really like. Now that's quite old stuff, Envoy. And spelt Envoy as in these guys. Because I used to produce a lot of dance music. And then Spotify pulled up a load of other stuff on the feed, and there was these really cool house tracks. And then I thought, right, now I don't do house music, it's okay to play guitar over it. So I started shredding on these tracks, and I thought, this is like really good. Wouldn't it be great just to shred on some house tracks? So then that led me to think is, on one of the streams, I could just do like a DJ mix, right, and shred over the top. So us guitarists would get the benefit of dance music with our favourite type of guitar sound. But the only stumbling block I've hit is I'm unclear, because obviously I would get copyright strikes, because I was also wanting to play my dance stuff as well in this set, and because it's all signed to different labels, if I play my music on my channel, I get a copyright strike. So I was just wondering how risky it is. Is it okay, as long as I don't monetize my channel, can I just play other people's music and shred on it? What do you think? Got $2, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Growing Up with Floyd. Yeah, you can come and DJ. Analog Monsters. So I'm just wondering what legalities are. I hope, like, I don't, obviously, because I don't want to, like, get my channel shut down and taken off me. But I do want to, like, just not make any money out of it, because, like, you don't anyway, and just play the dance tracks that I like. Like, don't, like, not bothered about how current they are, but just play all the cool stuff. Like Limits and Envoy and, yeah, the stuff that inspired. Do some scratching. We'll hear that. Yeah, I love Carb and TMAC. Right, have to hear them. Yeah, exactly. Because that's the thing, I've been listening to loads of guitar music, and then suddenly these tracks came on. And they like literally blew my mind. It was like my speakers came alive. I've been listening to like narrow band guitar music, right? You listen to like Extraction by Greg Howe, and it's great because you listen to the music, but then when you hear like a good house track, it's like, this is amazing. It pulls all the strings. So it's just the copyright strikes on this channel, because what I'll do is I'll sit and I'll just start playing through house tracks and jamming over the top. This is the idea anyway. Oh, you know what? I'll just talk to YouTube tonight. No, not tonight. Because tonight, well, I might do before I go to bed. But remember, tonight, members, you've got a free coaching session. 8. It's. I've advertised it. I mentioned it in the community, and it's also scheduled. So there's another live after this one tonight. There are 2 lives today, and one is for the members. Cool. Just making sure. Also, anybody here who hasn't subscribed, please subscribe. Anybody who hasn't liked the channel, please like the channel. And that's it, really. It's now 8 o'clock. It's been good today. I've really enjoyed it. We've had plenty of people on today. There's been plenty of traffic come through, 1,170. I am feeling better. I'm still like coughing, but I'm fine. And snivelling a bit. But I am feeling better. I've still got my rotator cuff injury though, but I've got a hospital appointment which I can't make for another scan. But this arm's knackered. But it doesn't affect my guitar playing, and this arm's going the same way. Well, I hope not. Probably is the same flu as you. I'm having my flu jab. I'm not missing it this next year. As soon as it's offered at work, I'm taking it. Alright guys, so that's me done for today. Thank you. And members, I will see you tonight. Everybody else, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Alright, take care. Bye. Elastic bands for... Oh, I've got some.